successful as last time. We did it once. We can do it again. Hit it, gang.
I love stealth games. Video games have always been about facing a problem and tackling it with combat. But what if you could avoid the combat altogether? This idea always fascinated me, and I fell in love with stealth games immediately. And since you are here, that means we share some love for this genre, or you just like Payday. Payday 2's gameplay is essentially about doing different missions or heists without a greater story or questline. Every heist is an individual one-time job, which, after succeeding, you can choose to do again. You unlock new heists mainly by buying new DLCs. That being said, the game has a career mode, which is essentially the storyline of the game, though this is not why people play this game. Anyways, it helps new players get accustomed to the game and takes them through almost every single heist in the game without owning the required DLC, so it's definitely worth going through. You'll find the heist in crime.net, which is a kind of network of contacts where you'll choose your heists. In online, you'll find other players' heists that you can jump into. You have multiple options, including tutorial heists, safe house raid, where you defend your safe house against waves of police forces, side jobs, which are smaller objectives to complete while doing the heists, and a contract broker, where you'll find the heists. This is what we focus on this video. The heists are offered by a number of contractors you can see on the left. The heist costs you a little bit of in-game money to activate, but you'll get more money out of the heist itself, so you really can't lose here. Even if you fail, you can retry the heist without extra cost as many times as you want. Only when you abandon the heist without succeeding, you'll lose the money. Speaking of money, Payday 2 has two different money systems: spending cash and offshore account. Spending cash is what you use for buying weapons, equipment, assets, and skills. Think of it as your operational budget for improving your character and preparing for future heists. Offshore money, on the other hand, is like your secret Swiss bank account. It represents the majority of your earnings. 80% of the heist payout goes offshore. But it's not directly accessible for regular purchases. Instead, it serves special purpose like buying contracts to host specific heists, unlocking new skill profiles, and unlocking infamy levels, the game's prestige system. We'll start with the iconic bank heist. Before you start the heist, you can do some last-minute preparations like changing gear, but the most important thing here is the pre-planning. Pre-planning allows you to strategically prepare for heists. During the pre-planning phase, you can purchase and place assets, modify the environment, select entry points, and plan the approach and team roles via this drawing tool, which, to be honest, most people likely use to draw something stupid. Purchasing assets and modifying the environment costs a little bit of money and favor, a special currency just for this mechanic. Because of the use of favor is limited, it forces you to make strategic choices. Not all the heists have pre-planning options, but for those that do, it's an essential tool for increasing the chances of success. The more complex the heist, the more pre-planning options are typically available. For this heist, we chose extra body bags and a vault key. Alright, we are all ready, so off we go.
Okay, the thermal drill you need for the vault is somewhere in the parking lot. Get it before you do your takedown. Then you can go hit that vault. Watch for cameras and bank employees. Do your homework before you go in, and remember, cash is king.
In this heist, you spawn without wearing your mask, so basically as a civilian. In the civilian stage, you can't perform any suspicious actions like crouch, jump, or even run, but it's okay to carry this shoulder bag and wear rubber gloves. If you walk too near the guards, they think you're a little bit weird and suspicious and can become hostile. But you are not without any help. By pressing your action button, you can highlight guards and cameras, which can be useful if you're playing with another person.
Security guard.
When wearing the mask, you hit the point of no return. Note that you can wear your masks, but others do not have to, so they can stay under the radar and keep highlighting things for you. This is a mechanic I like, and it brings a neat purpose for multiplaying. We can't just walk through the front door anymore, so let's lockpick this back door. Lockpicking is as simple as holding down a button and waiting. You can also open some doors with keycards, drills, saws, and ECM jammers, which we use to open this door to the security room. This is a key element in many of the heists. Killing this guard is the only option to disable the cameras. Whenever you kill a guard, one of his colleagues is trying to reach the guy, and you have to answer to the pager and speak to them for a few seconds. During this, you can't perform any other actions. This is also the only time this occurs. They do not try to contact the same guy anymore. Sometimes the answers can be quite hilarious.
This is a test broadcast of the emergency airwaves. This is a test. Do not be alarmed. This is a test.
You can kill up to 4 guards per heist. With the 5th one, after answering the pager or leaving the pager unanswered, the alarm goes off. The bank has 4 guards, so we can deal with all of them. But that still leaves the customers and the rest of the staff. If you kill a civilian, you get a penalty of a few $1,000s, which is not that much in contrast to the payout. So what can we do then? Well, this is where these bad boys come into use. You can yell really loud.
Stay still! Don't move!
Or, like in my case, use this mixer and cassette tape.
Stay down.
Everybody's...
And then tie them up. See this thing right here? That's the detection meter, and the system behind it is quite funny. The risk of being detected is affected by visibility, distance, your equipment, movement speed, and line of sight. The cool thing about Payday 2's detection system is that it gives you time to react. When a guard starts detecting you, you can quickly move behind a cover or run away before the meter fills up. This can create tense moments where quick thinking can save you from being caught. Skills, perks, and some equipment mods can help reduce your detection risk by raising your concealment stat, with 3 being the smallest possible. So what are these skills and perks then? At each gained level, you unlock skill points to spend in your skill tree. There are 5 different skill trees: Mastermind, Enforcer, Technician, Ghost, and Fugitive, each giving abilities and bonuses to different playstyles. This doesn't mean that if playing stealth, you should only focus on upgrading the Ghost skill tree. For example, you can get extra cable ties to tie hands from the Mastermind tree. Note that you can create multiple builds for different heists, playstyles, and approaches. Now, when I said funny, I meant this. Does this make sense to you that these guys don't give a damn about the person looking like this, squatting next to this tight guy and threatening him with a gun? Also, this guy doesn't give a fuck about this dead guard practically next to him. Yeah, sure, it can't be 100% realistic, it's being a video game after all, but still, this feels borderline stupid. Notice how we went for these guys first. That's because they are the staff and capable of pushing this button, alarming the police immediately. This makes it necessary to think about your approach, which is really neat. The civilians can sit and wander outside as well, and even come inside, so we have to be careful. You can guide the civilians around, but this mechanic doesn't work extremely well.
Please follow.
Oh my god, come on, move on!
Follow.
This guy dropped a keycard. Some staff members can have keycards with them and they drop them when killed or tied up. In this heist, the keycard opens the door to the security room. To get access to the vault, we have to bring our special drill. Drills are the single most annoying thing in the game. They make a huge noise and break often. The screen on the drill shows you how long it takes to finish the drilling, as well as possible upgrades for the drill. Okay, it's safe to watch again. You can upgrade the drill to be silent, take less time, and not to break nearly as often. This drill makes no sound, but a passing civilian may still see it and call the police. While waiting, you can try to find some extra loot in the form of cash left lying somewhere, or with the right tools, you can open these ATMs. Drilling is done, so we open the vault, secure the cash, and finish the job.
I had a great time.
After the heist, you'll hit, wait for it, the Payday, and receive some money and experience. In addition, you can draw a card for a chance to get a weapon mod, mask, or other cosmetic. Next heist, Art Gallery.
I don't know much about art, but I know what I like, and that is paintings that sell.
This heist also has a pre-planning, so we're gonna use it. In Art Gallery, we have to steal paintings marked by a red sticker. You can choose to enter through the front doors, the bathroom, or windows in the ceiling. The ladder gives us an advantage to also see in which of the 5 rooms the paintings are kept, and where is the security room. The fall can be lethal, so just be careful. This heist has one stationary guard who is located in the lobby. He keeps looking to the right and left, back and forth, so be careful with the timing if you're planning to sneak past him. The paintings are light, so it's easy to move around with them. Just remember to place them somewhere out of sight, because guards will launch an alarm when they spot the bags, as do the cameras if not turned off. See how the cameras look different? That's because these ones are indestructible due to a higher difficulty level. Breaking the cameras during a heist is a valid option, but note that if the guards see a broken camera, they will launch the alarm. The guards and civilians can also spot each other being alarmed, as you might have noticed in the previous heist. Though for some reason the guards do not mind the door to security being open. The gallery also has more guards than 4, so we can't just clear the whole place. Avoiding the guards on this level is hard, but you can use the cleverly placed benches and bins as a cover. This comes down to the line of sight. The line of sight is measured as a line from head to head and PC to player. Basically, if your head is visible, they can spot you. This mechanic can create funny moments like this. You're completely safe here. Remember, in addition to the line of sight, the range, visibility, and duration of the gaze do affect, but this doesn't make sense no matter how you try to explain it. These lasers are a thing that I do not agree with. Going through them sets off the alarm, and I think it's stupid because it forces the player to use a specific path, rather than choosing the route themselves. We had some trouble with the amount of guards moonwalking from place to place, but ultimately we secured the paintings and walked away with pockets full of money. The 2 previous heists were from the same contractor, Bane, who is the main handler of the Payday crew. Different contractors tend to have different themes, more stealth or loud-based heists, bigger or smaller, robbing, rescuing, securing, etc. They have also gotten pretty damn good and well-known actors for the roles, like Giancarlo Esposito for the role of the dentist, Lance Reddick, may he rest in peace, as Charon, and Ilya Volok as Vlad. If you don't know Ilya, he was the dry cleaning guy in Friends. I guess the job didn't pay well enough, or he used the dry cleaning for washing money. Let's choose Hector this time, a Colombian drug lord. He doesn't have many heists, but they are a little bit different. 2 out of the 3 heists are loud only, but the Firestarter can be sneaked through, so let's go for it. In the planning phase, we see this. 3 different days. Yes, in this mission we complete 3 heists before we receive our experience and payment. This is extremely nice touch. The heists are connected to each other, creating a small storyline. If you fail a heist, you can start the particular heist again, you don't have to redo everything. In the first heist, we have to either steal or destroy a bunch of Mendoza cartel's weapons. Now this heist is actually not stealth, or well, technically it is. You have an option to begin stealth, but it's near impossible to complete this heist stealth by solo. This is because all of the NPC in the heist are guards. And these guards do not have pages. Instead, if spotted, the alarm will go off automatically no matter what.
Shit. Police has called in heavy-duty reinforcements.
Only a handful of stationary guards can spot you or other suspicious action without launching an alarm. The patrol ones can't. This highlights a massive fault. Even though the first heist is technically loud only, the consecutive 2 heists have a stealth option. But when choosing a heist, you have to set your build, and you can't change that afterwards in the loadout in the planning phase. So you kinda have to create this build that is good for both loud and stealth, which in the end will not be extremely good in either. Luckily, I'm playing in normal difficulty, so going loud is not a problem, and we have the chance to listen to Payday's awesome combat music.
They're deploying SWAT units. Get ready to face some heavy firepower.
Okay. Canada! Shield!
On to the second heist, breaking into the FBI. We're about to steal a server containing information about the Mendoza cartel's dirty money. Payne recommends finding another way in than the front door, but you don't have to listen to him. Just be careful with these detectors, as they will launch the alarm. I chose to enter the building via the side door. Now this conveniently placed camera will spot me if I try to lockpick the door. Luckily, you can add a loop to the camera to allow illegal activities for a short period of time. When I open the door, this guard chooses to walk outside. This is a lovely touch. If you make a change to the layout of the map, the NPCs can adapt to that, meaning that you have to be careful in every step. If I'd have chosen to shoot the camera, this guard would have noticed that. At this point I have to add that the layout of the map can and will change a little bit every time you try the heist. This means that specific rooms and doors, cameras, guards and interactable objects can spawn in different locations. So the map is not 100% the same every time, and this applies to every heist.
Now, locate the server room.
When you look at the server room, do not open the door, as it is alarmed. Instead, Payne wants you to find a computer for him to hack into and find you the correct wire boxes, which can be located basically anywhere. You then have to open the boxes and cut the wires, disable the alarm. If you cut the wrong ones, it'll launch the alarm. This is pretty much a recurring theme in many of the heists. In order to get somewhere, you have to go and cut some wires. Now into the server room. Steal the server and back to the van. But wait, what's happening? Oh yeah, if you don't close the wire box, the guard will notice that. That's really nice touch, and I hope that would be the case with, for example, security room doors. Now the ECM jammer comes handy, as it'll delay the alarm for some time. Unluckily, it wasn't enough this time, so I did not get the stealth bonus, but we managed to pull the heist off. Third and the final heist, we're back in the good old Trusty and Harvest Bank. So, we know the deal by now. Locate the security and deal with the cameras. Deal with the rest of the guards and the civilians and drill into the vault, except you don't. In this version of the heist, the vault is electrified, so you have to first get into this room and shut down the power. I love this, as it takes something familiar but changes it a little bit. Otherwise, the heist is pretty much the same. Now I run into a problem. I don't have enough of cable ties to tie up the civilians, so I'm forced to either take the risk for multiple NPC to call the police, or shoot them. And I dislike this so fucking goddamn much. The maximum amount of cable ties per person is 6. Only 6. This used to be a higher, granting a total of 10 per player. In any case, it is not enough. Why does the amount of cable ties have to be finite? There are also only a few heists where you can use them efficiently if you don't include loud uses, so it hurts no one for them to be infinite. Rather, it's stupid to have to use skill points to get a few more. Now another thing. As I explained earlier, the cost of shooting civilians is very low. It doesn't matter if you kill the civilians because I lose practically nothing. I wish the price would be significantly higher, so it would not be a valid option and the heisters would have to be more careful, but the amount of cable ties would be infinite. At least the cost of civilians is immediately reduced from the spending cash whether you complete the heist or not. This time we do not steal the cash. Oh no. To really piss the cartel off, we burn their cash to ashes and record the whole event. So we light up the pile of the cash and guess what? Yep, we wait more. The recording is done, so we escape, and the heist is done. And it's time for our payday. In addition to multi-day missions, this heist is also different because we're not stealing money or gold or something for us. No, we're doing this for someone else. We steal the weapons, but there is an option to destroy them. We steal the server to get information, not material or wealth, and we burn the money, everything to hurt the rival gang, Mendoza Cartel. Next, we choose a heist from the dentist, my favorite contractor, as his heists are typically more complex and fun, high risk, high reward jobs, which require thorough planning with the potential of various methods of execution and escape. In this heist, we are not stealing anything valuable for us, and we are not doing it because somebody told us or hired us. No, this time it's personal. Hoxton Breakout is probably the most played heist in the game due to the ridiculously high amount of money you get from it. It is a loot-only mission where you have to rescue your old buddy Hoxton from prison. Due to the overwhelming amount of evidence against him, you must steal information on who was responsible so Hoxton can get his revenge. In the follow-up heist, Hoxton Revenge, you have a stealth option. And the heist is in my mind one of the greatest in the game. You have to get inside this house, locate the panic room where the rat is located, and get inside to avenge your friend. Why I like this? Because breaking into a house is somehow so personal. It's not a bank, a warehouse, or an art gallery. It's a house. You can understand it, you can comprehend it. It's more close to you as a person, and it's also really well done heist. Getting into the house is not as easy as you'd expect. The house has a special security system. If you open any door or window, you have about 30 seconds before the alarm goes off. So you have to locate the timer through the cameras or peeking from the windows before breaking in and cut the wires of the alarm before the time runs out. This is extremely neat and brings variety to the missions, again by enhancing the need to plan your approach. Once you find the panic room, you have to open it by using 2 ways. Each time you play the heist, the 2 required ways of opening will be randomized out of the 3. Double keycard reader, retina scanner, and numeral code. The double keycard reader is as simple as getting 2 keycards, but retina scanner and numeral code are 2 quite unique ways to deal with the situation. For the scanner, you can find an FBI boss somewhere inside the house. He's easily recognizable as he is the only civilian in the heist. He must be cable tied and brought to the panic room where he will become untied to scan himself. Once he is done, he must be tied up again or else he will call the cops. This is a cool way to utilize a civilian in the heist. It is a way easier said than done to guide him to the panic room without anyone noticing though. The second unique way is the numeral code, which has 2 possible variations. Telephone call or hacking a computer. Hacking the computer is same as in every heist where you have to hack a computer, but this time it's super annoying because the guard can notice the computer being hacked and launch an alarm. It is realistic, but it doesn't make it any less frustrating, especially when you have to wait for the hacking to be completed. I mean, yes, I get that you have to wait for things to happen, like drilling the vault will not happen in an instant, but it shifts the focus out of the gameplay, and this is something that happens in many heists, and I do not like it. Nonetheless, I still like this more than the guards not paying attention or caring at all. The telephone call, on the other hand, is really cool, but very simple. You have to climb in a telephone pole and make a call to the FBI from inside the house.
Yes, hi, this is Agent Dave from the safe house. I need to talk with the informant urgently, requesting today's code. Sorry, didn't get my coffee this morning.
I like this, since it forces you to leave the house and sneak back in. When you get what is needed to open the vault, it's time for more waiting. At least you can use this time for gathering the evidence we need to take with us. I remember doing this heist with my friend for the first time when it launched. We were sweating. Who will be behind the door, we wondered.
Hector was the traitor!
It turned out to be Hector, one of our contractors, one for whom we just did a heist, Firestarter. God damn it, Hector, you piece of shit. I wish it wouldn't have come to this. For the 5th and final heist, we go out with a bang. We're going to rob a casino. The Golden Grin Casino is a heist from the dentist. Here we have to pull all of our knowledge to use. We have a pre-planning. A fucking huge pre-planning. Funny thing here is that most of the stuff you can use is for the case you go loud, so pretty useless for us. We begin as civilians, but without our gear. Our equipment is in a guitar case or something somewhere in the casino. You can put on your mask before you go and get your stuff. In the case, we also have sleeping gas, which we use to knock out the guards. I'm playing with a friend, so we decided that I'll put the mask on and he stays civilian so he can highlight guards and cameras and find everything needed for me to minimize the risk of being caught. This size is different in a way that there are no camera rooms. Instead, the cameras are operated through the security control room, which is full of guards. So we have to avoid cameras for now. Okay, we got our gear, so next we have to acquire some blueprints of the ventilation system from the archives. The archives are in the employees only area, but the guard must have missed preschool where you learn to read, as he doesn't give a fuck us being there. Get to the archives and just search through the shelves to find the blueprints. When you do, you have to go to the server room and fax them to Bane. Okay, so for those who don't know what fax is, it's a really old 80s and 90s device. Faxing was used to scan and send printed material, both text and pictures. The machine was linked to a printer and a telephone number. Okay, these tests were pretty easy, but now the real challenge begins. After sending the details, Bane will identify the room connected to the security center and require a quest list, which must be retrieved from the main reception computer. Getting into the computer was not hard with this difficult level, but higher levels would be tough. This is where it's handy for someone to go as civilian to secure the way across the gambling area. Download the list and get back to the server room. Bane will check the guest list for us and display on the TV the guest occupying the room we have to access. The guest is gambling on a slot machine somewhere, so I wait for my friend to locate him. When he does, Bane wants us to refill his drink with the same liquor and a little bit of our own ingredient. I have to search the right one, which is located in one of the 3 possible bars in the venue. Once we find the right bottle, Bane calls the civilian to distract him while we cleverly refresh his drink, which he can apparently do through the slot machine. When it comes to alcohol, there's nothing that can stand in our way. After he's taken a sip, he feels the full aftermath of our special ingredient and rushes to the nearest bathroom. We neutralize him and take his keycard. Once we access the civilian's room, the sleeping gas must be released into the vent connected with the security center. Cameras are also now disabled, though pages still operate in all other areas.
Don't worry about cameras now.
To get access to the vault, 3 electronic briefcases must be located, each belonging to a manager and containing a single digit for the vault combination, a red, green, and a blue number. The manager's briefcase can be found inside a safe in his office. The security chief's in his locker, and the pit boss's briefcase is located near him, and he can be found in multiple locations. After getting a digit from all 3 briefcases, the heist is almost done. It's time to head to the vault. Dial in the correct numbers and loot the place up. Behind this door is the one item the dentist wants, and to get it, we have to drill the door open and time the lasers correctly to sneak under them. This elevator takes the loot up to the security center, where it can be moved to the van in the delivery area, and then we can finish the heist. So, after robbing a bank, an art gallery, stealing from a cartel and burning their money, breaking into the FBI, avenging our friend and looting a whole casino, I think I have enough information to form my educated opinion about the game and its mechanics. The stealth mechanics of Payday 2 are well designed. For example, the detection meter gives you a clear idea of how well you are hidden. You have the option to loop and disable cameras, and the use of ACM jammers is genius, giving you the possibility to access areas and to delay the call to police, giving you more time to correct your mistakes. Though the mechanics are pretty much the same in every heist, not all the heists require the exact same steps to complete. While the use of hacking a computer and cutting wires do appear more frequently, some heists with unique approaches like the timer and sleeping gas brings a fresh touch to the heisting. Planning your approach is essential in every heist, even when some of them have a more linear approach. The heists with pre-planning bring a lot of variety on how you want to execute the heists, whether you go stealth or loud. The heisting won't get boring because the increased difficulty levels will always keep you on your toes. Also, the game has really well balanced the combat and the stealth mechanics. Even though combat is also a valid option for almost all heists, it doesn't take away from the stealth mechanics. While I recognize the positives of the game, I have to underline some flaws. There is a lot of waiting, and most of the time there is not much gameplay other than hiding in some corner. I get it might be somewhat realistic, but it's not fun. The lack of cable ties annoys me, but luckily there are not many heists where this will be a problem. The inconsistency of guards giving a single fuck about what's going on also bothers me a bit. In some heists, they care if you leave something open or hack a computer, and in others, they don't mind. I would like the guards to see the security room door being open, but we would have the option to close it. That would also enhance the idea of being careful, since if you're the one who left the door open, you're the reason why the guards spotted you guys. The detection system has one flaw, if you want to put it that way, so I don't really mind the funny situations, although some of them are ridiculous. Rather, I have a problem with the detection itself. In many games, if an NPC sees you, they come and search for a brief period of time to check what they just saw. This doesn't happen in Payday, and the guard just won't see you even if this happens. To conclude, with all of its little flaws, I still enjoy getting back to sneaking into the banks. It always gets my blood pumping and fingers sweating, and that doesn't happen in many games, especially in stealth games. The variety makes it never boring, and I'm always as excited to try some bigger heists as I was playing the first time. It's not picture perfect, nothing is. But this is pretty close to being one. With that being said, I am confident that Payday 2 is the greatest stealth game of all time. Or is it? Share your thoughts in the comments. I do like stealth games, and I'd like to make this into some sort of series, where I cover at least a few more stealth games. I like playing them, and these are the kind of videos I really enjoy making. So if you enjoyed it as well, you should hit that sub button. Thank you for joining me, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.